Star Wars announces new movie The Mandalorian and Grogu from director Jon Favreau. Now, this is not, apparently, it's not the same movie that Dave Filoni's working on, which is set in the quote unquote Mandoverse. That's a different project, and I feel like that's probably going to be more tying up the Ahsoka storyline. But it sounds like it's all over the place because there's an Ahsoka season 2, and then there's also a Dave Filoni movie, and then there's also this. So I don't know what's going on over there. Let's read this article, and then I'll tell you what I think about it. Baby Yoda is headed to the big screen. Does anyone care at this point? I feel like Baby Yoda was a big deal when he first appeared a few years ago, but I don't really think he is now. Jon Favreau is directing a new Star Wars movie titled The Mandalorian and Grogu. Yeah, so creative. It will go into production later this year. Yeah, this feels like it was damage control, and I'll get to what I mean by that. Favreau created the Disney Plus series The Mandalorian, which follows a helmet-wearing blah blah blah, starts the show. Grogu, better known to fans as Baby Yoda. It is unclear where the upcoming film will fit into the timeline. Yeah, it's kind of a mess, to be honest. The timeline is not coherent whatsoever. Which has aired 3 seasons. It is currently in development in the 4th. So they are still doing a 4th then, I guess. Didn't know if that was happening or not. Here's what Favreau said. I have loved telling stories set in the rich world that George Lucas created, Favreau said in a statement. The prospect of bringing The Mandalorian and his apprentice Grogu to the big screen is extremely exciting. Quote, The Mandalorian and Grogu is the first Star Wars movie in the works, with momentum anyway, since 2019 Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, which grossed $1 billion globally and served as the grand conclusion, if you want to call it that, to the original 9 shot. No, what it should say is, it concluded the fan fiction trilogy that came after the 6 actual films, because that's what it was. New installments in the space opera series from director Patty Jenkins and Marvel producer Kevin Feige were announced but never came out. Yeah, there's been more movies announced and canceled than have actually come out. It's been I think there's a dozen at this point. In the time since, Star Wars has launched 2 more live-action shows in the Mandoverse, The Book of Boba Fett and Ahsoka, plus the upcoming Skeleton Crew. Yay. Favreau will produce The Mandalorian and Grogu with Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy. Yay. And Ahsoka creator Dave Filoni. I would say yay, but it depends on who you ask. As he offers guidance on the upcoming film, I don't know how much that means he's going to be involved. Filoni will also work on the second. They're stretching them too thin. It's the same as what's happening with Marvel. Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni have ushered into Star Wars 2 new and beloved characters. That was worded weirdly. And this new story is a perfect fit for the big screen. Kennedy said, "Why is she still in charge? It's been a decade of mismanagement and incompetence, and this lady, I feel like she must know where the bodies are buried, so to speak. She has beef on, or she has blackmail on everyone there, I bet." The Mandalorian and Grogu will lead Lucasfilm's upcoming feature-length development slate, including separate Star Wars films directed by the lady that just said she likes to make men uncomfortable, James Mangold, who made Indy 5, which was a travesty, and Filoni. Though Disney's release calendar is constantly changing, an untitled Star Wars movie is scheduled for May 22nd, 2026. A separate movie set in a galaxy far, far away is set for the same year. They're doing 2 in a year again? Stop. While a third adventure is opening on December 17th of the year after, Disney hasn't clarified the specifics of any of those movies. Okay, so I agree, this feels like damage control, because the past week has been nothing but people roasting Charmin Obaid-Chinoy because she had that insane interview where she said that she likes to make men uncomfortable, and her old interviews have come out saying that she puts activism in all of her movies, and it's like, why are you hiring? And she, in her whole interview about doing Star Wars, she mentioned Star Wars for about a half second, and then the rest of the interview has nothing to do with Star Wars. So they're clearly not hiring people that care about the franchise. They're just hiring people for their activism now, and it's really depressing, and it shows that they've learned nothing. So, and I liked the first couple seasons of Mandalorian. I even liked the ending of season 2. It's what launched this channel. That's what I talked about in that channel. But it's obvious they don't have a plan. I thought they were actually going somewhere at the end of season 2, and it felt like Filoni, had a plan that was different than Kathleen Kennedy. Felt like she wasn't as in charge of that. But no, she's still in charge of everything. And Ahsoka was not very good. Obi-Wan was not very good. Mando Season 3 was bad. So, I don't know, man. I don't think there's anything this franchise can do other than basically start over, get George back, and write new stuff from. I mean, at some point I do want to make a video talking about what I would do to fix this franchise, because there's a lot that has to be done. And this is not it. Hiring people like Obaid Chinoy and making another one of these. I mean, this announcement came out of nowhere. There was no news about or nothing about a Mando and Grogu movie. And then I bet this was like, they got together and like, quick, we have bad headlines about Star Wars right now. What do we got to do to get people back in? And it's like, use the same gimmick you've been using for 4 years, which is the baby. Baby Yoda kind of ruined that show. It was kind of gritty in season 1, and then Baby Yoda comes in, and by season 3, he's inside of a mech fighting alongside Din Djarin, and it's so stupid. That part was so dumb. So they had the right idea having him go away with Luke, but then they undid that. So, yeah, it's just incompetence all around at Disney. So I guess we'll see whatever this... Who knows if it'll happen, because like I said, there's been more announced movies that have been canceled than ones that even came out. So maybe it's not even going to happen. I guess time will tell. So what do you think about this? Do you think this is a good announcement? I personally do not. There's many other things I'd rather have them do than this at this point in time. So leave a comment, share, like the video, subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you next time. Peace out.